Hello and welcome to Lakers Live Postgame Show. Lakers get the win 93-89. Oh my God, Manny, a sign of relief here. I will say it was an ugly win. I mean, don't get me wrong. We should have had a bigger lead by then. We were playing great. We went on a cold streak there, a few minutes without scoring a basket. But Manny, the streak is over. It's snapped. Lakers got to build up now. Davis, man, after he made that block, as soon as they won that game, he says, "We back, baby." That's what he said. Everywhere's got it. If this kind of game right here doesn't give the Lakers motivation to say, we don't need LeBron to win this game. We didn't need Schroeder to win this game. We needed Marc Gasol, man. Marc Gasol.
Oh my God, yeah.
Marc Gasol, man, showing up. I haven't been this excited. I mean, you guys know that. I mean, I've been such a hype guy for him, and Medina as well. Medina couldn't make it as well, so it's just you and me tonight. But I mean, shout out to him. Shout out to the entire team. We finally just looked solid. It wasn't pretty. Like, don't get me wrong. But, I mean, Lakers finally snapped the streak, man. What a relief. Like, I can't tell you. It was like a breath of fresh air.
Finally, Aaron. Finally, we broke the losing streak. It literally feels like Christmas morning right now because we finally got a nice win. Marc Gasol literally think about this, Aaron. He's a center. He's a 5, and he makes threes like nothing. He literally goes from the corner and just goes, Irish spring green from the corner. And from the top of the key, he can just drain threes like nothing. But honestly, shout out to the Lakers. We finally broke the streak. It's been long overdue, guys. Long overdue. Anthony Davis, shout out to Anthony Davis, Medina's boy, and Aaron's pick in the pregame. With 25 and 7. He only made 1 3, but 2 attempts. That's what I like to see, guys. I love to see that. My pick, Kuzma, he played okay. He only took 4 shots, but Drummond did not play the best game, but in my opinion, you can't have a good game every night. Like, if you can't expect a player to drop like 20 and 11 every single night like what Drummond does consistently. Like, you're going to have these off nights. KCP had 2 for 6 from 3, had 10 points. Caruso, Aaron, I don't know if you saw this or if it was just me, but I saw Caruso's presence tonight.
Yeah.
And I was saying in the pregame, with Schroeder and with LeBron out, he needs to be our floor general. He needs to be our orchestrator, and he did exactly that. And also, gonna save this guy for second last. Marc Gasol, 10.7 rebounds, 3 for 4 from 3. He only took 3-point shots. I know. Like, if you're a 5, you're usually getting in the paint and dunking it and driving to the lane. But like, what do we always say in this show, Aaron? If you're making your shots, keep shooting, and that's what Gasol exactly did. And then my boy Trez, no trespassing. That's it. No, he did 2 nice blocks in the first half, and had 5 rebounds and 5 points. He played very, very well. Wesley Snipes, aka Wesley Matthews, with 8 points, made both of his 3-point shots. THT shot 4 for 7 from 3 with 10 points, and then Ben McLemore rounding it out with 3 points. He only made 1 3-point shot, but what a game! Like, I don't know if this is you or if this is just me, Aaron, but this was by far our best defensive game of the season. Denver Nuggets have one of the highest points per games in the league. I think they're like 3rd or 4th highest in the NBA in points, and we held them below 90. Shout out to the Lakers.
I was just gonna say that too. I mean, man, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was just gonna say, that is, if that doesn't tell you anything, like, Manny, if I was going to tell you tonight, I mean, I think if someone else was going to tell us both tonight that the Lakers were going to come out tonight and hold Memphis to 89 points, would you have actually believed them?
I would have said you're crazy if someone would have told me that.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable
Unbelievable.
for
But I
real.
mean, you know what? This is what happens when you play good defense. This is what happens when
Mm-hmm.
you click. Don't get me wrong. I will not I will still call the Lakers out on turnovers cuz me and turnovers, like, I hate it. It's the points in the paint, obviously, too, 48 to 34. We get it, Joker had his night. But I mean, still, what we say is a win is a win. They got it
Yes.
done. They got it done. They woke up. Now you just got to keep building on this, because right now you got your identity back. You need to say, hey, by the way, the teams you needed to lose, they lost, which is great. Now you just got to keep it rolling, because if you don't keep this rolling here, if you don't keep this train rolling, these other teams are going to say, hey, all we have to do is just sit here and try and go beat the Lakers, and we're going to be playing Dallas too. So that game, you want to talk about even a big matchup right there. Even no matter where the Lakers finish in the next few games from now, you have to win every one of these games right now. There's no time to play. I got LeBron obviously playing, and the Clippers Lakers matchup. I mean, how could you not? And you know that he's going to have more rest under him. So I think it was a smart move. The Lakers didn't need him. I knew that we could come out here and win, but man, like, I'm just happy. I'm just excited to see this team kind of
Same.
have a sign of relief, because it's frustrating to them. It's more frustrating to us as fans. They know that. They know how they're feeling. Nagging injuries. It's time to build from it, though.
Oh, absolutely. This win is already a confidence booster, but like you said, we need to win out. And Thursday, like I like what you said about LeBron, because you're right. We didn't need him tonight because, and I even said this, that it's a very possible win tonight because we have AD and Drummond and Gasol that are easily going to shut up Nikola Jokic. I mean, he had a great night, obviously, but 3 points. We both said our keys to the game that we need to play good offense and play good defense, and with the 3 point shots and to stop them from taking threes. We did just that because the Nuggets only shot 25% from downtown, which is absolutely amazing. And also, two things I want to get into, Aaron.
Yeah.
One is that this is our first win of the season without Dennis Schroeder, and now, with this win and the Portland loss, our magic number to clinch a playoff spot is now at 5. So now, if we get 5 wins, we have that nice X marks the spot in the standings, which is going to be beautiful to see. Because it was a bad losing stretch. And look, obviously, Laker Nation, me and Aaron here and Medina, obviously, wherever she is, we're all very excited that we won, but we can't get overly confident, obviously, because who knows what could happen in the next games. And you know what the Laker way is: we can't be celebrating a regular season win because we all know what the ultimate prize is, and that's the
Yeah.
championship. I mean, we're all very happy, but we can't just act like we just won the championship, obviously, but. That's basically what I'm trying to say is the playoffs are coming very soon. We have 7 games left on the season. And then the playoffs, like I'm gonna quote this from one of my all-time favorite movies, Gladiator.
Yeah.
It's war. When Maximus was fighting the gladiators, it's war when the playoffs start.
You just gotta. It's about staying hungry. You hear that all the time. We've been hearing that all the time. Even throughout the playoffs, they said, "Hey, keep going. Job's not done yet." That was the slogan
Job's
last
not
year.
done.
The job's not done. You got to keep it going. So this year, it's keep your foot down. You got to keep. Lakers are going through a lot right now. They're looking better. Tonight was a great statement for them to say, hey, we could play, we could do this, let's get it done here. Now we just got to go out there and say, hey, look, we got to cut down on the turnovers, because turnovers, it's still unacceptable. I don't care, I don't care if it's 25 turnovers, 20 turnovers. I want 10 or less, period. I'd be happy with that. Nuggets got away with too many easy buckets right there in the paint. Gotta work on paint protection a little bit more. Got to work on the turnovers more, and then I will be happy. It's just I just got to keep seeing this team grind it out because Davis was great. Now you just got to add the other pieces around him. Kuzma got to step up here. Markieff Morris got to figure himself out too because, in the end of the day, it's like you got to help this team out. Like, it's not a one-man show here.
Yeah, absolutely. What do I always say every show, Aaron? The fact that we can't keep using LeBron and AD as crutches. The other guys need to step up. Like I heard from on the Spectrum Sportsnet on TV this game that Markieff Morris has now gone 8 straight games without making a three. Like I don't know about you, but that's kind of concerning to me just because like we saw him make a bunch of threes in the bubble, and we're gonna really need that in the playoffs from him if we're gonna need to make our threes because we all know it's a 3-point shooting league, and if we're making our threes, it's gonna be an easy win for us because we actually made our threes tonight very well. Like I know percentages weren't crazy good, but we still shot 43% from 3, which is outstanding. And like in the NBA, if you have 50% field goal, 40% 3-point shooting, and 90% from the free throw line, you're having an A+ game in my opinion. So, like, I'm just very happy with our team, and LeBron coming back on Thursday against our rivals, the LA Clippers. It's going to be a big, big matchup. All of Los Angeles is going to be watching, and all us Laker fans, as well as outside the United States like me, are going to be watching. So it's going to be big, and it's a live game on TNT.
Yeah, national TV.
LeBron James versus Kawhi Leonard. AD versus Paul George. Everybody, Thursday night, get your popcorn ready. It's going to be big.
It's going to be big. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be great. I mean, we know, people are excited about it. It's a great matchup. Maybe we can get Matthew on here as well. Talk, because he is a Clippers fan as well. Our sound and audio video engineer. But I mean, those are the games now I'm looking forward to because at least on Thursday we could say, hey, we're going to run it out here, and the only guy theoretically that should not be out there is Jared Dudley. Everybody else, or Jared Dudley and now, Schroeder, because, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And you know what? It just that's the way it is. You can't force someone to do what they want to do. They just make their own decisions. So, what's going on, Hyro? One of my other Laker buddies and former coworker.
What's up, Hyro?
What's going on, brother? Thanks for tuning in. But you know what? In this game in general, I thought tonight the Lakers just started off the game good. We started off the game good. The second quarter, honestly, we beat. As soon as I saw the second quarter stats, 25-18, Manny, much better than 40 to 20 something, 40 to 25, I think it was, in the last game. They just looked much better. First half, the defense was a little bit better. Second half, got a little sloppy there.
Yup. Absolutely, it did. I actually had a bit of a scare in the fourth quarter because it looked like we were gonna choke the game. We were up, I think, like 89 to like 70 something, and then in the next few minutes you see oh wow, it's all of a sudden it's 89-87. What the hell is going on? So I'm just freaking out. I'm my heart is pounding. I'm like, oh, no. Do not tell me we're going to choke this. Do not tell me we're going to choke this. And then we were slowly making our shots. The defense was getting very well once again. And we closed it out. Shout out to Anthony Davis with the game-ending block. Shout out to THT. Clutch. AD. Clutch. We played such an amazing all-around game. Yes, I know AD did a lot of work, but from what I saw tonight, our guys looked like they were very engaged, and it wasn't like the last like 7 games prior to this game that we were very like dependent on AD and LeBron. This game it looked like we were very independent. I mean, I wouldn't say 100% independent, but I would say we were a good like 75% independent from AD, which was very, very good.
Oh yeah. I thought I thought we were great. I thought Anthony Davis looked solid tonight. I feel like he had one of his better games tonight, and obviously we saw the stat, Manny. I mean, we were looking at Spectrum earlier. They had the stat up there that showed uh, Davis since he's come back from the game, and he's actually, we were kind of in shock because his numbers actually were hurting the team. And you know
Yeah.
what? But we also were saying too with Medina that you have to have healthy legs. You have to have your win there. You have to be able to set up your shot and be able to make your jumpers, make your fadeaways, and catch and shoot when you need to. I think tonight he finally looked like himself. He finally felt like himself a little bit more. Big game for him, all around, But obviously the defense still got to clean that up. But I mean, what was your big takeaway from the night? Like, what if you had to say the one thing Lakers besides the defense and the turnovers, what could besides those two things, which we already know they're heavily critique them on, what's something else you want to see next game going into the Clippers game?
Well, because you already said like defense is kind of out of it. Because besides that, obviously, but another thing that we did tonight, which was shoot the three ball very well, and that's what we need to do against the Clippers on Thursday because the Clippers got snipers on their team. They got you already know Kawhi is gonna shoot the threes. We know Paul George is gonna shoot the threes. Rajon Rondo is gonna shoot the threes. We're all familiar with him from last year, Rondo, but he's on the Clippers right now, so we're gonna have to watch out for him. We're gonna have to watch out for as well Lou Williams, former Laker and current LA Clipper. He can shoot from the three, so we're gonna have to watch out for him as well. We're gonna have to defend the three, and we're gonna have to make our threes. That's basically my key to the game and my takeaway for Thursday's night, basically, because if we don't defend the three, Clippers are gonna bury us like they did the opening night and on Easter, and we cannot let that happen because as a Laker fan, if we can beat the Clippers, it means a lot.
Hey Manny, I know it's late for you. I'm sure I'm sure the Clippers miss Lou Williams, but I mean,
Oh,
he got dealt with the Hawks, but hey,
he got dealt to the Hawks. That was a mistake.
It's all good here. No judgment in this time at this time of night.
I'm aware, Hyro. I'm aware.
Yeah, we're all good. We all have fun here on the Ultimate Sports Show. But honestly, I think biggest takeaway, I think looking ahead as well, looking ahead to this next game, I think the biggest thing the Lakers just got to worry about is the chemistry. I think ultimately the chemistry needs to be there. The not only the chemistry needs to be there, the defense needs to be there because you're not, the defense wasn't as sharp as it was, and it was it was a lesson learned for the Lakers because look, if you can hold, by the way, if you can hold a Denver Nuggets team to 89 points in the game, you can hold the Clippers team to 80 points if you wanted to in the game.
Absolutely.
It is very easy to make a team have a rough shooting night. Your defense has to be on point. You have to be switching at the right moments. If you're not switching, I want to see the Lakers play a little bit more zone defense. We were talking about it earlier during the game, and I was saying like there were so many matchups the Lakers could have had better where they were guarding Porter Jr. Got the switch off to Gasol to have to switch to him, and Porter Jr. had the size advantage because you get beat. You get beat by it. You got to adjust your defense, and I think that's the only thing I'd say looking up ahead, adjusting your defensive strategies. And, don't be afraid to go with the zone defense because zone is great. You don't have to worry about switching. You stay with your guy the entire time. You keep the paint protected. You have guys that are staying in there and they're stagnant. So anytime they want to switch, they can't switch. They can't get you to switch because you're actually playing a 2-3 or a 3-2 zone.
Yeah, absolutely. There's still time in my opinion to make other like adjustments in the rotation, like
Yeah.
you said. Like I know a lot of people are giving a lot of heat and a lot to Frank Vogel because his rotations haven't been like the best this year, but I think Frank Vogel did a great job tonight, in my opinion, coaching this game. Even though it was a very like close win and not a good offensive game, but we're not an offensive team, so I don't know why Laker fans on Twitter keep complaining like that the Lakers need to score more. Like we're not known for our offense. It's not like people are gonna expect us to drop like 120 like the Brooklyn Nets. Like we're more known for our defense. We're known for locking guys up on the defense, and then playing transition offense, and then just running on a fast break and just scoring. That's basically our game. We're known for that. So that's basically my opinion on that one. But I feel like there's still time. There's 7 games left in the season. Vogel's still playing around with some of the rotations. So we know what we're doing, basically. I'm not worried about that. And then when we get LeBron back, we get Schroeder back, we get Jared Dudley back, because we're kind of missing Jared Dudley's presence as well, because I want to see him, mentor some of the young guys.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say he's totally young because now he's like 25, 26, Kuzma. But he's doing a great job mentoring Kuzma last year and this year. And even THT. THT's 20 years old. He's still got a lot more to learn. He played very well tonight, in my opinion. And he's been one of our most consistent players this year. So shout out to THT. Like the Lakers scouting department did it again, finding like another steal in the second and first round. And hoping we win on Thursday again.
We love a good Clippers Lakers rivalry.
Absolutely.
Honestly, also with your note on THT as well. He's still learning. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm glad we have him. I mean, I know there was people that said, boy, aren't the Lakers like biting themselves in the where for not trading for Kyle Lowry after he had his terrific shooting night the night before. But you know what? Like tonight, like I was watching him, like I could after he made that circus shot that he probably will never have. I mean, it was crazy because even Stu Lance was like, that'll be the only time in his career he ever gets that kind of miracle shot to go in, because he completely outschooled everybody because he followed the ball, he saw where it was, he was able to get it, he knew it was short, and he just made some kind of circus shot and it went in. And that kind of told me, look, the kid is young. He's still learning. There's decisions he's still got to learn how to make a proper one, make the right passes. I think that's just going to come with experience. I think the more he plays, obviously, the better he should get, and that's going to help the chemistry overall on this team.
Yeah, absolutely. If people are still like complaining about that whole Kyle Lowry for THT saga, the deadline, like you got to get over yourselves. Whoever's like still hung up on that. Yeah, I know. Like we saw Kyle Lowry dominate us like 2 nights ago, because I mean I'm right now I'm on Tuesday, so like I'm saying like 2 nights ago because it was Sunday, but he had a great game, Kyle Lowry. But just because of that game, you can't base it off one game that, oh, Lakers made a mistake. Rob Pelinka made a mistake not dealing THT and KCP in a first for Kyle Lowry. But Kyle Lowry's 35 years old. People are forgetting that. He's getting up there in age. How many
Yeah.
years does he have left of playing at a high level? And I'm not calling Kyle Lowry a scrub. I live in Canada, so I'm happy what he's done for this country. But I'm just saying, he's getting up there in age. We don't know if he'll still play at an elite level. He's not a LeBron James that no matter how old he is, he's still going to have that longevity in his career. But yeah, I agree 100% what you said about THT. He has a lot to learn still. Like I said before, like Jared Dudley's done a great job of mentoring players, and he's done a great job of mentoring THT. He's 20 years old. He has still so much to learn. The future is bright. The world is his oyster. Like he still has a lot to do in his career.
A lot to learn, a lot to do, and he's just gonna keep learning. Which is obviously great about him. Obviously, the ultimate goal here is get healthy. That's we were talking about that earlier on our pregame show. Getting healthy is going to be our biggest thing as well. That is the ultimate prize, being healthy for the beginning of the playoffs, And, I feel like the Lakers have to use tonight, build that confidence up. Everybody's going to sleep great tonight. Get a day off to relax, and then hit the practice floor tomorrow. Look over film because we know that it was a sloppy win. They're happy they got the win. They're happy that they have a game. I believe it's a game and a half lead now in their spot, so they have the right people lose tonight. But they're not. No one's satisfied. I'm not satisfied with just a win. I want to see them come out there. Obviously, we have some payback work to do against the Clippers. They've beat us, and they beat us. They've had their moments where they beat us bad. So it's time to take care of business. Looking ahead, man. You still got Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, an excellent Clippers team. They're playing great basketball this year. I got to give them credit. Yep. Always give credit where credit is due. But they're not going to be an easy cookie to crack because they also have Zubac, who's not easy as well either. And let's not forget Serge Ibaka.
Yeah, that was a nice pickup they did. I'll be honest with you, Aaron, and all of Laker Nation in the offseason. I wanted Ibaka on the Lakers because of his defensive presence, but I'm happy with Gasol. He, even though he hasn't been the most consistent player on the team, his defense, his passing, and his rebounding has been super underrated, and his 3-point shooting has absolutely skyrocketed from the past years that he's played. He's older, but he's still shooting, and absolutely have to watch out for their front court as well, the Clippers, because they even have former Laker Ivica Zubac. We know he had his moments as a Laker where he had some great games, and there was other moments where he was extremely slow and had a lack of motion on the court. But he's a good young piece. The Clippers made a right call getting him at the deadline 2 years ago. And even though that wasn't a great trade on the Laker part because we got Mike Muscala, who was... I was not a fan of him. But anyways, we played very well tonight defensively. I just wish our offense would be a little bit better. I'm not saying we need to absolutely drop 120, 130 like people are saying on Twitter that all the offense is S star. But I'm saying the offense should be a little bit better. I feel like we should have scored at least 100. That would have been a little bit better for us. But if we could hold the Nuggets down to 89 points, I agree with you 100%, Aaron, what you said before. We could definitely hold down the Clippers to 80 or 79 points because outside of Kawhi and outside of Paul George and outside of Patrick Beverley, I don't think they're that great on defense. I think they're a little overrated on defense.
Yeah.
So I feel like we could lock them up, but offensively, they are not overrated one bit because offensively they can make you pay. As much as I'm a Laker fan saying this, Clippers are our rivals. I gotta admit, the offensive tenacities of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are one of the best in the NBA, so we really have to watch out for that on Thursday. And it's a TNT game, so kind of support on live television.
Yeah, and you know what that means as well is we got a TNT game, which means around the NBA is gonna be Thursday night. You're not gonna want to miss that as well.
Absolutely.
Manny, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Like I said before, the defense tonight was the best I've seen all of this season. And as much as me and you, Aaron, have been critiquing the fact that the defense hasn't looked the best in the past 7 games prior to this, that's we even saw the chart as you mentioned that AD was when AD was on the court, we were giving up 114 points, and then when he was off the court, we were giving up 102. That's all out of the window tonight for what we did. But back to what I was saying from before is that I don't want us to get overly cocky with this win because there's really tough matchups, and there's a matchup on Friday that is a very, very important one against the Portland Trailblazers, and it's not even at the Staples Center. It's at the Mata Center in Portland. So we all know that place is usually Laker hell because I'm not saying recently, but I'm saying historically we haven't been the best playing in Portland. So That's going to be a very, very tough game. But we need to win that because it's going to be very important. And if we win that, we hang on to the 5 seed.
Got to win every game. Got to get it done. That's going to do it for us for Lakers Live post-game show. Lakers getting the win 93-89. Our next show will be on Thursday, 7 o'clock. So 7 o'clock is our game, and 6:30 is going to be Lakers Live pregame show. Possibly special guests, too. We'll fill you in more once we know. But for Manny, Medina, and myself, I'm Aaron. Take care, everybody, and have a great rest of your evening. Lakers getting the win.
Peace.